Hey friends! I've wanted to treat myself to a spooky self-care date for a long time now. It was actually perfect that I planned to have one on the Saturday before Valentine's Day because I started my weekend with massive anxiety. I was ruminating so hard last night that I ended up feeling physical symptoms in my stomach, and I was just hoping things would balance out so I could enjoy this whole itinerary I had planned for myself today. A good night's sleep really did wonders, but I still do feel some remnants of anxiety this morning. Hopefully my agenda of spooky fun will give me the dopamine boost that I need to relax both my body and my mind, because I deserve to rest and to play. It's so frustrating, to say the least, when my body gets so used to this hamster wheel of stress that the second I actually do have time to relax, my body doesn't know how to do it, even if intellectually I'm ready and willing to enjoy some relaxation. I'm aware that people watch vlogs for the aesthetics and the aspiration, but today we are being real and we are being honest. But we're also being very spooky, and I've been highly anticipating the release of Heart Eyes, which I'm on my way to see. All I know is that it's a horror comedy slasher about a killer who strikes on Valentine's Day. Will it be my new favorite holiday horror movie? I cannot wait to find out. I just got back from the theater watching Heart Eyes, and although this is not like my immediate reaction because I did have a little bit of a Taco Bell break in between because I was getting hungry, I am so happy. I just think this movie is going to be a holiday horror classic. I'm calling it now. First and foremost, I will not be talking too specific about this. Like I'm definitely spoiler free for sure. But really I'm just gonna be super vague because if you haven't seen it yet, it's very likely you haven't if you're watching this when this vlog first comes out. But I will say these few things. One, that prologue, that like beginning, like the first 10 minutes, wow, like just wow. Secondly, I have heart eyes for Mason Gooding. And let's be honest, Olivia Holt too. They are just so believable as this couple. Like, will they, won't they get together? And it's actually so sweet. Third, and probably the last thing I say about this movie is the tone. Like, I loved how sophisticated this movie was in bringing us humorous moments and then seriousness. And, you know, like I felt tense. I felt afraid in various moments in this movie. Like there's suspense, but then there's humor mixed in. It goes back and forth with the tone from being like silly, playful to more serious suspense very successfully, in my opinion. It didn't dilute the effectiveness of this movie being a horror comedy. Like both, I felt, in my personal opinion, were successfully pulled off with this film. And I know the director or producer, I think it was director, Josh Rubin, I know he also directed the movie Werewolves Within, which I did see recently, and I felt like that movie was also a horror comedy, but the suspense and dread and the fear I wanted to feel in that movie, I really didn't. I feel like it definitely leaned way more on the side of humorous. Maybe that was intentional. But if this movie was trying to be both scary and sentimental, then Heart Eyes definitely achieved that for me in my viewing experience. I had a great time. So I'm on my way now to a Halloween market. I'm so hyped for this. So I have a bag in the back where I'm preparing for maybe purchasing a few things that I know I can't carry in my two hands. And it's the perfect blend of like Valentine's and Halloween. Like I can't miss today. I'm going. That was so much fun. That market was far larger than I thought it was going to be, and I made out like a bandit. I don't know about you, but sometimes when I'm in these kind of places where there's tons of options and people are, putting out little pieces of their heart, like they really care about what they do, their crafts, their merchandise, so I feel like it's a lot. It can be a little overwhelming for me, or I'm worried I'm going to make like a bad purchasing decision. But so far so good, no regrets. I'm very happy with what I took home with me. I am so hyped to try these little pan dulces. I saw these online, they were advertising them. I mean, look at these, come on, they're so cool. It says haunt me and there's ghost face. These are the kind of creative, spooky things that I just don't see in my local area often, so I knew I had to take them home. I was also really looking forward to this other company that has candles that are just so gorgeous, very like whimsical, witchy, and a little bit more on the Halloween side. At the start of this year, I did put myself on a candle buying ban that I cannot buy any pretty candles that will hurt my heart to burn until I've gone through my stash. So knowing that, I only got 2 little tiny ones and they're so cute. They smell delightful and I will be burning these. Another treat I got were these adorable little cake pops. The purple mummy, I just love the shade of purple, is probably what you can guess. It's going to be ube flavored inside. And the little Frankenstein heart is actually going to be pandan. I think I'm pronouncing it correctly. It's kind of like a coconut flavor from what I was told. It sounds delicious and it's probably hard to see on camera, but it does have a little bit of shimmer to it as well. And I couldn't pass up these stickers from one of the vendors. They're just the perfect blend of like, Halloween-y, like the horror stuff mashed up with like that girly pop pastel situation that I love. Like that's just my perfect blend of spooky. It just speaks to me. I don't know why. And I bought 2 of the spooky and sweet stickers because I knew I loved it so much. I'd want like an extra backup. So that's just the type A kind of person I am. Last but not least, I got this gorgeous print from the vendor. The artist is called The Orphans, I believe. So gothic, so whimsical, very witchy. I'm in awe of this. I think it'd be gorgeous to have up in my home any time of year. It's kind of like a little subdued with the color palette. It's not really, catching your eye initially. So I think it'd be a really nice, just like subtle piece to have around my home. It's giving Salem, it's giving wildflowers. I love it so much. It's so pretty. It's just like the perfect blend of whimsy and macabre. I just love seeing spooky stuff outside of the fall months. It just makes me so freaking happy. And I need this dose of dopamine. Like I totally need it. I'm so happy I finally went to one of my community's local markets. It's been something I want to do for a very long time. So I think today, right now, I think it's like 2 o'clock, I think. So I think what I want to do is I have this whole like early evening agenda set up to just like really relax and settle in to that state of calm that I am not generally in during the work week. But I've been thinking a little bit about how best to make sure that my anxiety really gets processed and I can just kind of like let it go. And negative thoughts have been coming up for me throughout the day, but not as much as I think it was earlier in the morning because I have had a lot of novelty with going to the market. So I think that was really great. I think a better way to get dopamine is probably through other means, like going for a workout. So I think before I jump into my relaxing, cozy, spooky self-care routine that I have planned for this evening, I'm for sure going to get my blood pumping, go to my apartment complex's little workout gym and just like run on the treadmill, get my heart going and see if that kind of helps give me some dopamine boosts. Because I think that is the most impactful way to kind of like get me out of this anxiety rut. It's also a good reminder that like I can work through these things and it's normal and it is life and there's nothing to be ashamed about. Yum, this tastes so good, thank you. Shout out to my bartender, Thomas, for making me a delightful Mai Tai. truly us getting into tiki drinks is like the best thing we ever did together as a couple. So I'm all washed up. I had a really great time working out. I just find that it's something I've been leaning on, going to the gym, popping in my headphones and just like escaping with a fun little audiobook. I mean, the one I'm reading right now isn't necessarily fun. It's Guillotine by Delilah Dawson, where you have kind of like a Ready or Not meets The Menu, a little like Blink Twice, if you've seen that movie. Yeah, it's a fun story for a certain group of people in that book. For the longest time, I've been wanting to use tons of self-care body products, and I know that's not like truly self-care, like at the root of your issues. I know the root of our problems in life aren't going to be solved with foot masks and pedicures, but I think there is something to be said about taking care of your physical body, and that it maybe sends some kind of like message to your brain that you're safe, and it could be comforting, especially like warm water. There's a reason why people take baths to relax. Like it's super soothing, and I've never really been a huge bath person. So for me, it's mostly like foot soaks. And I have a few products that I've been meaning to use for the longest time. I've purchased a few myself, but most of these have been gifted. So I'm really excited to get to these products. So I have a delightful little Mai Tai, thanks to Thomas, and I'm gonna play a little bit of Call of the Sea, which is a game I'm trying to get through this month. So fun, very like Valentines-y in the sense that a wife is trying to find her husband in the South Pacific, and there's puzzles, there's a story. So definitely right up my alley. Once I finish soaking, I'm gonna put like a little foot mask on. I think I'm gonna paint both my toes and my hands this really cute pink color. I think it's very Valentines-y. I am feeling a lot more relaxed than I was in the morning, a little bit more settled into my body, and it's sunset right now, so could be just really nice just to like hang out and relax and get cozy with a game, just to play a little bit more. I think that'll be a really nice way to end the evening. It's 8 o'clock and I'm already really tired, but I think that's because I feel so relaxed. So I'm gonna head to bed. So I'll leave things here, but thank you so much for hanging out with me during my spooky self-care date with myself. I had a whole lot of fun, and it was just a really good reminder of all of like my relaxation techniques that I could just pull out anytime I need them. I don't have to have like a full day dedicated to caring for myself. It's really, not that difficult to sprinkle them in throughout my work week. So I think that'll be a good thing for me to think about as I move forward into the rest of February. How can I add more little mini self-care moments throughout my week? So maybe something to think about for yourself too. But thanks again. Let me know down below in the comments what's something you've done for yourself lately, your favorite self-care tip, anything that helps with your anxiety, and I'll see you all on my next video. Bye.